welcome back. I'm going to make you something really special, something that's really near and dear to my heart, that's part of my culture and part of my heritage, and it's vegan birria tacos. And it takes a little more TLC than a usual recipe, but it's worth the wait. You know, things that take time are usually worth the wait, and that's the way you should look at a lot of things in life, not just food. And food is something that connects people. It is something that you can remember. Sometimes you have a meal that is just so good that you remember for the rest of your life. And when you make food for people, especially people that you love, you want to make it memorable. So that's why we're here, to make good things. So let's make some good shit and let's be happy. Let's go. Let's take one moment to admire the beauty of the chiles here, of the fruit. I mean, I don't know if they're fruit, they're probably not. But these are chile arbol, those are guajillos, and these are anchos. Back there is onion, garlic, bay leaves, thyme, and some cloves. And so we're going to use all this for our sauce. You'll see how we get these in there. These are oyster mushrooms, and you already know we're going to be making these tacos vegan, so I'm just going to give these a rinse, and then we're going to shred them up with our hands and try to make them resemble like taco meat, you know. Alright, let's marinate these mushrooms just like you would some meat. So, like garlic, oregano, olive oil, that's cumin. And then I also put like this thing called jugo, which is kind of like a beef broth alternative. You can find this like in the Mexican aisle. You might need this. And then we're going to put this in the fridge and let it sit while we do a few other things. Alright, let's start boiling up some water, but like good water, because this is going to affect our sauce. So do it how you want it. So before we start boiling the ingredients for the sauce, I'm going to give the onions and the garlic a little browning on this comal. Just going to give them just a little bit of flavor. If you know, you know. Here I'm just de-seeding our chiles because we don't want them all. It's going to be way too hot. But we are going to leave some of them in there. You don't have to be really vigilant with taking all of them out. But one thing to note here is you have to be really careful with your hands here. After you do this, wash your hands, because you touch your eyes, you touch anywhere on your body, you're going to be burning. Alright, once you're satisfied with the browning that you had going here on the onion and the garlic, they're going down into the water, and we're going to get this consommé started. What I like to also do is let the onions and the garlic kind of run a little bit longer here in the water before you put in the chilies. They need a little bit longer, right, because the chilies are really fragile and thin. So you can time this how you want, but that's just my technique. Once the chiles kind of start looking like this, we're gonna transfer them over into a food processor or a blender or something, and whatever you got is good. Alright, before we start blending the chiles and start making that sauce, we're gonna let them cool. In the meantime, the mushrooms go down. Don't put any oil in here, just let them hit the pan hot and let's get them browned. Alright, let's make this sauce finally. So we have all the stuff that was in the pot in the food processor. These are like some roasted tomatoes and some vegetable broth, and then we're gonna spice it up again, some oregano, some cumin, salt and pepper, and blend it up. And make sure you take those bay leaves out of here though. Alright, this is going right back into the boiling water, but we're going to strain it, right? Because it's a little lumpy. It's got a few things that are going to kind of make the consommé just like not that great. So we're going to strain this here, and this takes a little bit of finesse. Sometimes that food processor doesn't like do it that well, so we might put a little bit of vegetable broth through it, right, to even strain it further. So this could take a minute, but it's worth it. We're just going to take a 1 minute to clean our station, and you know, if you clean as you go, you're going to have a lot less work to do at the end, and you can just enjoy your food. So here I tasted it and I thought it was just hitting a little bit too sharp on the spice, so I'm trying to bring it back down to earth with a little bit of honey, and this also does a little bit of work. It adds some like of the umami element to it, so maybe do that. Once you're happy with the sauce and it's just like hitting and you know it's good, then you're gonna put those oyster mushrooms back in there, and we're gonna be about ready to make those tacos. This is the best mozzarella dairy-free version that I found. If you know a better one, please let me know. You want to bring some of that consommé over from the pot and just put it on there. Like, baste each one of the sides, flip them over, brown them. This is gonna add that red look, and of course add some sabor. So I just brought some of the consommé over into like a container, and that's gonna be our dipping sauce. You already know. I'm just put a little bit of cilantro and onion in there. The tacos are done. They look so good. I'm starving. I had a hard time not eating them, but I want to show you before we start, and I want to show you all the proper way to eat these. Hopefully that's focusing, and you can see the cheesy goodness. So I'm gonna try to do this with the microphone. So to do this properly, you put a little bit of lime, a little bit of cilantro and onions, right? You need that. Then maybe grab a little bit of avocado. It's not mandatory, but I don't mind it. Okay. And then you're going to dip it inside some of the consommé. Not bad. You know, sometimes you just have to enjoy something that you make that is made with love. You know, living on earth is not the easiest thing, and it's tough sometimes, you know? Sometimes it gets lonely. You know, it'd be nice to have a deep, meaningful hug from someone that loves you, and you just feel it. You know, sometimes that's all we need. And sometimes we need a birria taco. They're almost the same thing. Yeah. All right, I gotta go.